Her 11-year relationship was actively imploding, while the Spanish government prosecuted her for tax fraud, seeking an 8-year prison sentence. But as these social media reactions suggest, the legal battle took a sharp turn. After a years-long investigation, the system ultimately ordered the state to reimburse her an estimated $64 million. She followed that legal victory by performing a free concert for 2 million people on a beach in Brazil, answering a period of intense personal betrayal with a massive cultural resurgence. To understand how she engineered this double comeback, we have to look back at the childhood rejections that originally forged her resilience. In Barranquilla, Colombia, a young Shakira was rejected by her school choir. Her music teacher told her she couldn't join because her vibrato was too strong, and that she sounded exactly like a goat. The girl who was told her voice was a liability for a grade school choir grew up to sell 100 million records. This established a pattern. For Shakira, being mocked or written off isn't a deterrent. It is the fuel she uses to build her career. Her early childhood was comfortable until her father's jewelry business went bankrupt. Almost overnight, the family lost their cars and their furniture. To ground her in their new reality, her father took her to a local park to see children living in extreme poverty. That image stayed with her, creating a drive to ensure she would never return to that level of instability. At 13, she signed with Sony Music Colombia, but her first 2 albums were commercial failures. The label was ready to drop her, viewing her as a failed experiment. Instead of quitting, she demanded full creative control. She wrote the songs for her 3rd album, Pies Descalzos, which went on to sell 5 million copies and made her a superstar across Latin America. This first professional crisis set the standard for her career. When the industry counted her out, she responded by seizing more control over her own work. Having conquered the Spanish-speaking market, she set her sights on the English-speaking industry, a move many critics thought would dilute her identity. She didn't hire a team of translators. She taught herself English by obsessively studying Beatles records, learning to write lyrics that would resonate across cultural lines. The result was Laundry Service, an album that sold 13 million copies and produced Whenever Wherever, establishing her as a global pop icon. She didn't just enter a new market. She proved that language and cultural barriers were negotiable through sheer persistence. In 2010, she met Spanish footballer Gerard Piqué. For the next decade, she largely prioritized her family life in Barcelona over her global touring schedule. That stability ended in 2022. While her 91-year-old father was in the hospital, she discovered Piqué had been involved with another woman. Instead of retreating from the public eye during the breakup, she took the emotional fallout directly into the recording studio. Her collaboration with Bizarrap, Session 53, used direct, unapologetic lyrics to address the betrayal. It broke 14 Guinness World Records and became the most streamed Spanish-language song in a single day. She took the public collapse of her personal life and converted it into a professional resurgence, turning personal trauma into a global hit. While dealing with the heartbreak of her separation, she was also fighting the Spanish tax authorities, who claimed she owed millions in unpaid taxes. After years of investigation and a settlement seen as a defeat, the narrative flipped. As this headline shows, the court found she was due a massive reimbursement, maintaining her innocence throughout. This final financial reversal served as a public clearing of her name. She didn't just survive a complex legal investigation by state authorities. She forced an outcome that turned a severe threat into a reputational win. Today, her scale is larger than ever. This report confirms her Copacabana beach performance drew 2 million people, a crowd size reserved for global events. Her journey comes full circle, set to perform at the 2026 World Cup halftime show alongside other music legends. Beyond the records and the court cases, she has privately funded and built 780 schools for vulnerable children in her home country, fulfilling the promise she made to herself as a girl in that park. From the teacher who rejected her, to the label that dropped her, to the government that prosecuted her, Shakira has spent her life being underestimated. She has proven that the absolute best response to being written off is to simply build something bigger. Which part of her comeback story surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments.